Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Guitar Souls podcast. This is episode number, I have no idea, didn't bother to check, and I am one of your hosts, Mr. Levi Clay, and I'm here with the psychotic-looking Mr. Mike McLaughlin, fresh off a tour, fresh off of the first metal tour in the UK since COVID.
Correct.
Well, I guess you went home, but you may have been in the house for all of 10 minutes before you came over to record a podcast, because we can't have you guys going without an episode. Mike, how are you?
Very tired, you handsome bastard. How are you?
Tired too, but for different reasons.
Aye, probably. I literally just got back about 10 minutes ago, went home, very quickly used the loo and flew down here to see you. Because, as you say, can't have people waiting. We have the Guitar Souls. People depend on listening to us talk shite and just get things wrong for their weekly entertainment.
Yeah.
And you've got to understand that, you know? You've got to understand
absolutely. That. I also hear that you got to meet some Guitar Souls fans out on the road.
I did, especially young Mark Loveridge.
Let's bring this picture up
Wait
because
to
it's
see this. Oh, look at us. The big man even had a party can t-shirt on. So Mark came out to the show in London last night at the New Cross Inn and had a right good laugh. Was chatting for about an hour before the show and then go out and get stuff set up and whatever else. And only caught him just at the end of the set, but he disappeared at that point. But Mark seemed to just be getting on with everybody.
Sure.
Like, he even texted me at one point and he's like, I just attract all the weirdos. And I went outside and he's sitting with like 3 or 4 people in the street just chatting. But he seemed to have a good time, man. He was saying it's not really his scene, but at the same time, he had quite enjoyed getting to know people and was like, it seems like quite an intimidating group of people, but it's not.
Yeah. I love that picture, actually, because that's I think the happiest I've seen you in probably years.
Really? Because I'm out in the road cuddling my Tory pal?
Yeah, that's such a massive smile, so I thoroughly enjoy that.
The big problem is that I've got hover hand.
Yeah.
It's scared of getting cancelled. Sorry, Mark. No, it was great fun, man. It was really good to get to meet him as well, man. We've been chatting back and forth.
Yeah. How was the rest of the tour?
The tour was fucking brilliant, man. Absolutely brilliant. I mean, that's probably going to be the majority of the episode is me talking shit about these, about the being back on the road. But I think we went through probably every emotion and every traumatic sense that we could, as well as how good the tour went. So I'll start from the beginning and try and give you like a TLDR, and then you can ask me to rehash certain points if you want me to expand on them.
I'm going to wait until an appropriate time, because I mean, I'm going to warn everybody now, this is going to be the shortest episode of the Guitar Souls that has ever happened. There's going to be a dramatic cut at some point where I interrupt you and we do sponsors. So go on, start.
Could do it right now if you want.
Yeah, fuck it. Did you know? This show is brought to you by our friends over at Ormsby Guitars. We want to remind you guys that there is still time to get involved in the upcoming Run 16 guitars. Those include these incredible hypes available in 5 new colours. That Dragon Burst is absolutely stunning. You can also get your hands on one of the Metal X's, again available in a range of finishes. My personal pick has to be these headless Vs, absolutely outrageously cool. Imagine one of those in an 8-string, I absolutely love these. And finally, the Ando San signature model, available in 6, 7 and 8-string availability. Go and check them out at Ormsby's website right now. This show is also brought to you by our friends over at Rev Amplification, a one-stop shop for all of your tonal needs. Head on over to their website to check out their range of lunchbox amplifiers, both the D20 and G20, 20-watt amplifiers with built-in 2-notes torpedo technology so you can record direct into your computer. If that doesn't suit, you can also check out one of their highly popular G2, 3 and 4 pedals, giving you that trademark rev tone in a stomp box. Incredible tones, I use these myself. And finally, you may notice in the back of these videos a Rev Generator 120, an absolute masterclass in modern electric guitar tones. Check it out at their site now. So as always, a huge thanks to our friends and family over at both Ormsby Guitars and Rev Amplification. And of course, big thank you to Vinny over at VPix. I love those guys too. So yeah, go check their stuff out. They're awesome, and you guys are awesome for watching the show. Alternatively, if you don't want to go check those guys out, we'd be very disappointed. Check us out and buy me a coffee. Another bonus episode coming soon. You can also buy our merchandise on Teespring. Get involved in the chat. Tell everybody all about Monday Night Guitar Geek Club. Super chats are always appreciated. And fan mail. We haven't had any fan mail this week, so nothing that we can talk about.
I was just going to bring that up. The fan mail seems to be getting quieter and quieter. If we have been sent a mail by you and it's not been read out or whatever, email us again. Make sure to catch our attention because we did get quite a lot to start with. And I certainly want to go through as much as possible. So GsolesFanMail@gmail.com. Get them sent in.
Yeah, we did actually, because of course we launched the fan mail to go hand in hand with the Ormsby competition, and we got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of bits of fan mail, and I read every single one of them, and I did put aside all the ones that I thought this will be great on the show, this will be great on the show. But then, months and months and months pass by, and you look at the fan mail that you were like, this will be great on the show, you're like, it sounds like it's out of date, it sounds like, they're referencing things that are relevant at the time, or they've referenced something that we've talked about on the show just recently. So yeah, we'll kind of balls that one up. But yeah, please keep sending us fan mail. It's all very much appreciated. Mike, how has touring been then? Tell us the story.
So, I'm going to give you the TLDR and then we'll get into the bits of it. It's just been absolute madness, man. It's been ups and downs. So, I'm not built for this hot weather, as you can tell. I mean, look at me. I look as if I have rolled out of the woods, which I essentially have. So we left off for tour on Thursday. First show was Thursday in Nottingham. So Thursday morning we headed off. For weeks we've been trying to sort out a van. We had a couple of issues with it. We had eventually got a van hired, and then I think there was a problem, it had to be cancelled or whatever. And then there was a second van sorted, and that was then... No, sorry. The first van was on its way with a driver. The driver phoned us and said, this van is undrivable. There are toxic fumes coming for the battery. So that, I don't know what had happened there, but that had to get stopped, obviously, and then recovered. So we were kind of shit out of luck at that point for sorting a van. But we actually kind of last minute sorted one. So the plan was that myself and a couple other members were going to share the driving license, insurance sorted, all that, blah, blah, blah. So we and the Party Cannon guys went down to Nottingham. The venue was called the Chameleon. It was brilliant. It was quite small. Sounded great. The promoter was wearing a hazmat suit and a mask and a visor for the full gig. Lee is paranoid and understandable about catching COVID.
Oh, right, okay, so this wasn't just like he thinks you're all a grubby bunch of bastards.
I thought at first he was just kind of dressing up for that, like sometimes people wear the medical stuff and like death metal gigs. Ha ha ha, it's the first one back in 18 months. No, it turns out that he had that on for 5 hours.
Wow.
He's so concerned about getting corona, and I can't blame him. Totally can't blame him. But he must have been so fucking warm. The venue inside was warmer than Satan's asshole. I cannot describe the heat. It was something else. So for anyone that's been to the Chameleon, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's inside a pub. You go upstairs, and then it's a room at the kind of back, another set of stairs. Cracking venue, great big sound system. The sound guy knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
Everybody was super friendly. But that room was just a complete moisture and heat trap. There was no ventilation in it at all. So I'm pretty certain that room was between 40 and 45 degrees the full time.
Yeah.
Bear in mind it was 32 degrees outside.
Yeah.
So there was no respite. There was no safety.
Yeah, it's worth pointing out, like we have obviously people in Scotland posting about heat waves and people around the world making fun of us for complaining about temperatures reaching 30 degrees. We don't have air conditioning here. Like, there's just no air conditioning for it. There's nowhere for this heat to go. We're just stuck in it. It's
an incredibly humid 30 degrees.
Yeah.
So it's stifling. Gig was fucking tremendous. Everybody had fun. All the bands had a lot of fun. It sounded good. Everybody played well. The venue was really nice. Just like a real nice return to form.
Yeah.
The fucking great time. So we stayed in Knots that night. Half the tour package stayed with a studio owner nearby, so they all went to the studio and had a bit of a party and stuff. We went back to Lee's house, the guy that was wearing the hazmat suit, so he let us stay with him, which was really kind of him.
Did he stay in his hazmat suit the whole time?
No, he kind of eased off once he was in his house, but he was also still socially distanced and stuff. Sure. And we wiped the house down before we left as well, just as a matter of courtesy. So that was first night was great, very busy, nice return, true to form, had a good laugh. Everything went quite well. We left fairly early. We met up at the service station. Both bands had lunch, had a laugh, chilled out, reminisced about how it'd been so long since we'd actually been able to hang out and been on tour, and how it was nice to not actually be getting stressed out on tour and then like, oh, if we jinxed it, ha ha ha, something's definitely going to go wrong. So then we got to Manchester to play the Star and Garter. Sold out. fucking brilliant gig. We had a local legend, Marius. I don't remember his second name, so apologies, Marius. But Marius is a tremendous and very well experienced sound man.
Okay.
Does a lot of live front of house and stuff. He was on tour with Ingested, so he gets the death metal stuff and slam stuff, and he had everybody sounding fucking tremendous.
Great.
Everybody that played blew out of the water. Everybody had a good time. The venue wasn't as warm as the one before, so it was absolutely fantastic. We had a great night. I think every band's done really well on merch and stuff as well, so it was just all in all fucking brilliant. We finished the gig, went downstairs, loaded stuff out, went to get everything going, and the van wouldn't start.
Yeah, I saw this on social media.
It just would not start. It was just clicking. Couldn't hear the starter motor going. It wasn't trying to ignite, it wasn't turning over, it was just clicking. Right? So, cue me, who is not an automotive electrician.
No.
Or a mechanic, trying to fix this for 3 hours.
You're very interested. You know?
I hate when things don't work, and I hate when things get the better of me not working. So I get to the point where I start peeling things apart. Yeah. So what we did with the van, bear in mind it had been modified plenty, so I wasn't putting my fingers here, there, everywhere. First thing I tried was bump starting it. I was punting the battery, but it just wouldn't start. So I tried, I'll just jump start it. I bump start it, so got the guys to push the van, left it in gear, kicked the clutch, nothing. It could feel like it was trying to engage, but it just wasn't doing it. Tried that a couple of times, no joy. So I was like, right, cool. Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with the battery because everything's lighting up normal. Only half the dashboard isn't lighting up and not working.
Going to interject with a question just so to paint the picture for me.
Aye.
So you already had problems with one van with toxic fumes from the battery. Was that via a company? And was this second van you're in, was it from the same company?
No.
Okay.
They were from companies, but from separate companies.
Okay.
We couldn't get any from the bigger companies. They didn't really have anything that was splitter-wise. A lot of the splitter companies in the UK seem to have dissolved.
Okay.
So that was...
Because like travelling around in vans just hasn't really been business for 18 months.
Totally get that. Aye, absolutely. And I can see why a lot of companies have probably went, right, cool, we've got that asset that we're now just going to turn into money because we need that.
Yeah.
But trying to get a hold of a van was just fucking nightmare material. Short of paying silly money from like a proper...
Enterprise or something like that.
Not even Enterprise, because they don't really do splitters, they do vans and stuff, but like a nightliner company or whatever, trying to sort that out would have been a fucking nightmare. So things have been going all right with the van. We'd managed to get it all the way to Manchester, no hassles, whatever else. Cue me spending a couple of hours trying to tinker with it, fix it, this and that, whatever else, just wasn't happening. Q 3:30 in the morning, we're like, right, I think we could maybe just try and get a sleep. Hardest promoter on the internet, Joe Mortimer, decides, right, well, I put the Manchester gig on, I've tried to sort the van and whatever else, I feel a bit responsible, so I'm just going to stay with the van. So he slept in the van overnight, in a car park. Loony, but greatest of respect to the guy.
Yeah, I saw his posts on social media.
Yeah. So the lucky thing was we got to the morning, we hadn't quite sorted a van, and then we're like, you know what, fuck it, we know somebody that's got a van. It's not the most reliable, but it's certainly a better option than not having anything at all. And the chap came along. It was a wee bit more expensive than I think we wanted, but for all the difference it makes, actually playing the gigs makes some difference as well. Sure. And the van owner was actually the driver as well, so it took a bit of stress off the band. So he turned up 2 hours after they'd phoned him and started ferrying their way towards London. So that was a beautiful moment. That was one of those ones where we were kind of like, right, cool, we've been through everything being fucking shit. We're now getting back to the point where things are going to be all right again. We can play the gig in London. We got there a bit late. It was the New Cross Inn.
Yep.
I'd never been there before. We've always played in the Black Heart in Camden.
Yep.
But it was beautiful. What a cracking venue. Just the right size for a band like ours. And I think for a gig like that, because it was big enough that you get plenty of people about the floor that could jump about and having a laugh, and space for merch and stuff, but no like packed out.
And so I've not asked this yet. What in terms of social distancing, what's the policy in England? Is it no social distancing?
Pretty much do what you want, which I'll go on to. I found that a bit concerning, but I mean, I can't get on my high horse and say it's out of order when I went and played gigs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just being totally honest and straightforward about that. Like I get that I would be a hypocrite to make any sort of comment.
You didn't just go and play gigs, like you were the reason people were.
Exactly. Exactly. Yep. We were a driving force and potentially being super spreaders. Hopefully not. Got to London, got everything sorted that way, loaded the back line in, watched the bands played, had a fucking ball. It was absolutely minted. Obviously Mark was there. He can tell you if he enjoyed it or not. I think in his own words was like it was a lot of shite minus the groove. Thanks, mate. But no, everybody seemed to have
I can get on board with that.
Aye. Everybody seemed to have a really good time, and the good thing was it was 3 gigs worth of us playing quite consistently, and the sound being good.
Yeah.
So I was pretty happy with that, and everybody just seemed to have the same. I don't know, man. It was like a refreshed excitement to them.
Oh, totally. Like not being able to gig for 18 months and then being able to get not only go out and do it, but people turn up to see you.
Even the crowd were, I think, feeling the same way. Like, even, for example, Nottingham. I said thank you to the sound guy afterwards. I don't remember his name, which is out of order. But I was chatting away to him and I was like, thanks very much, man. It was great to be back and thanks very much for making it sound good. And he was just like, well, I needed that as well, man.
Yeah.
And just the way he said that, I was like, aye, long time coming.
Yeah. A single solitary tear and then a hug.
That's a casual embrace with a friendly stranger.
Yeah.
So that was that, and then we got sorted. We had a hotel about an hour from the venue, both bands. So we filled the van, filled the car, drove said hour, got to the hotel, and I think we all got to bed about 1:30, 2 o'clock this morning. And then Chris got back up early, took 2 of the guys to the airport, and then we got up, went out, emptied the van into the car, split the gear between the 2 vehicles, and made our merry way apart. And I only got home about 9:15, and right now it is 10 to 10.
Yeah.
So don't tell me I'm not committed to this podcast, y'alls.
Well, I should. I'll throw a poll up for this actually. So I had a sneaking suspicion Mike was going to not do the podcast this week. And I'm like, what am
I had a fucking sneaking suspicion I wasn't doing the podcast. See, when it was getting closer and closer to like 9 o'clock, I was like, I need to go home and go to bed, man.
Yeah, there have been times in the past where we thought that might have happened, and I've just thought to myself, fuck it, if Mike can't do the podcast, we need to get one up, so I'll just do a podcast on my own. But I just don't think it would be entertaining because it's a rage time video, it's just me ranting about things. Bouncing ideas off people is really fucking important. So I thought I'll get feedback from people. If that were to happen, I was going to do a podcast we do a guitar solos with Melissa. Now, Melissa's guitar knowledge is limited. Obviously, she plays guitar, but what she really is good at is working with guitar players. And she's worked with a lot of guitar players. She's worked with some good guitar players. She's worked with some bad guitar players.
She's worked with you.
Yeah. She's been
poor lassie.
Yeah, put her off guitarist for life. She's been doing the music thing for 10 years. She's been out gigging now with her band. So the podcast would have been something along the lines of why guitar players are the worst.
We could do that.
We could, but getting someone's outside perspective on that, being the sort of person that hires guitar players, that would have been exciting. So if you guys would have been okay with that, let me know. And hopefully the answer is no, because if I say to Mike, yeah, they would have been fine with that, he could have been in bed right now.
Nah, that's all right.
Sure.
I mean, people what they want, Levi.
I'm tired too. It's, as you point out, it's 5 to 10. I was in rehearsals with Melissa and the Smoking Crows all day today for festivals that are coming up over the next couple of weeks. Sounding good, sounding big, sounding tight, which I'm excited by.
That's the dream.
But I'm exhausted now, and I want to go to bed. But the reality of the situation is that I have to go to the gym because, as I said on the start of the last podcast. Yeah, back at the gym, daily back at the gym, which is good. Let me pull up a wee picture from me from yesterday. I'm sure I have it here somewhere. It's on Instagram, isn't it? Just Facebook.
Should be there.
The man of preparedness.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was me in the sweltering heat yesterday.
Big silly goose.
I know, fun times. Who throws a Ned's versus Goff's birthday party, right?
I know. Only someone that doesn't want to talk about it at the party.
I was with you in spirit, but not.
I can see that. See that.
Not in reality. I mean, I'm gutted you weren't there too, because I imagine you would have done something similar to this.
I was planning on doing corpse paint and turning up in a tracksuit. I said that to Nancy. See if it's Nuds versus Goths. Why we're not doing both?
Yeah. Yeah. I actually think it would have been funny if it could have been you, me. It could have been you, me, Nance, and Melissa. We could have all gone as Kiss. And just been really confused about what goths are. We just thought it was black and white face paint. So I don't really think I have anything else to report that's going on in my life. Anything interesting? Oh, that I bought that Telecaster, and that'll be here tomorrow. So
yes, you did.
Thanks for that horrendous £200 import charge on it. Fantastic. Super excited about
You
that.
can show it off for the Monday Night Guitar Geek Club, though.
Well, they won't be able to see it.
I'm sure you'll put a picture up on Instagram and link it into the chat or something.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Levi, post a link. Future Levi, this is going to you. Post a link in the Monday Night Guitar Geek Club chat. Yeah, so cool. Let's jump on to the news stories that we have to talk about this week. These were largely all provided by Chris Smart, actually, over on Twitter.
Not only does he fund the podcast, he now runs it.
Oh, no, that's Chris Locke.
Sorry, Chris Locke. Apologies.
Yeah. There was actually, so I've mentioned Chris Smart on the podcast before, actually. So Chris is blind.
Right, okay.
He sent me
He sent us a few things before, is he not?
Oh, he sends us tons of stuff. He's he's awesome for that. Tons and tons of things. He sent us a video, the new Alcatraz band video. In fact, actually, fuck it. I'll bring it up and I'll show you this because it's cringe-inducing. I won't let you hear it, obviously.
Even that shot itself is cringe.
We don't want to get a copyright strike. Well, actually, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the audio playing for us, so we'll be able to hear it. But it's not in the podcast.
That's cool.
Just because I want you to see the quality of this video. Because this is, it's fucking Alcatraz, right? So you would expect, well, it needs to look good. You want to be taken seriously, right? So Tookie White has all these strange distortions on his face, if you like. You know what I mean? Like he's in a house of mirrors. Now, obviously, they're not all in the same place. So why is the bass player playing outside? And then you just got the drummer, I'll just put some flames over the top of it. If we just put some flames over it, we can try and convince our audience that we're all in the same room.
There is nothing about this that's positive in my mind.
It is unacceptably bad, isn't it?
But not just the video.
Oh, yeah.
For him just listening along, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, music is terrible.
And that guitar looks like a De Vries custom.
Yeah.
You remember that? The De Vries numbers?
Yeah. Kind of definitely tragic. And how's it doing? Yeah, almost 7,000 views.
That wasn't a naked by the way. Let's state that gun. Here, mate, I just met you, but me and you're best pals now, aren't we?
So yeah, Chris sent this to me and I watched the video and I was like, mate, I've got to be honest. You're lucky you can't see this.
Fucking hell, Levi.
And he tweeted back at me. What did he tweet back? Chris, always good spirits. So hashtag blindness benefits. I did explain why it was so bad. So it's a bad music video. The track's not all that good. Definitely a shame, obviously.
Very low budget.
Yeah, it looks like the type of music video that just any local band would make for themselves. It needs to be better. It just needs to be better. You want to be taken seriously. You need to make videos that look better than that, because you've got bands that are less serious than you making better videos than that. So kind of tragic. So okay, where shall we start? Let's do the fun thing. I've not looked at this. Actually, no, the funnest thing. Dave Mustaine confirms title of the next Megadeth album. I've not looked at this.
I haven't looked at this either.
So we will be learning about this together.
This was only today.
Yeah.
Ooh, right. I bet it's going to be something really bad.
The Sick, the Dying, and the Dead.
Aye, something really bad then.
The Sick, the Dying, and the Dead.
Megadeth main man Dave Mustaine has again utilised his Cameo account to disseminate information about the band, this time confirming the title of their next album in a birthday video message to a fan. Don't buy any of these cameos.
It's actually, have you seen any of them?
No.
It's actually pretty wild, mate, that even less effort is going into them than what you were getting in the video where he announced he was doing cameos. Let me bring some of them up so you can see some of them.
Hey guys, it's me, Dave Mustaine. Take down the government. Ah.
So, yeah, look, they're largely just him.
I should have seen Happy Birthday to your granddad in it. In his own video call. How do I switch this off, son?
And it is Dave Mustaine wishing you a happy 40th birthday from Catherine and myself. And she told me that you love metal and that you've been to many Megadeth concerts, so that's really cool. I wanted to show you something since you're a super fan. I'm at the studio right now, and let me see if I can flip my camera around so you can check out something that is very special to me. I don't seem to know where the little camera flipping button is, so check this out. These are some of my new babies that are coming. See this guy? It's the Rest in Peace model. That's your birthday present, bud. You got to see that before anybody else. Anyways, I hope you're doing well, and I look forward to meeting you in person someday, hopefully on the metal tour of the year. All right? Take it easy, buddy.
Nice that people are paying him. It's gone up now, isn't it? £220 for him to use it as an advertising opportunity. Woo. Yeah. So one more time, the name of the new Megadeth album is... Oh, no, I've lost it.
The boring, the shite, and the sleeping.
Yeah, the boring, shite, and sleeping.
It's a shame too, because I've got no doubt that Kiko have wrote some fucking ridiculous stuff on it.
He'll have played some awesome stuff.
Well, he'll have written his own solos. Dave's not writing them.
No, sure.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah, just there's too much surrounding it with the Ellison thing, isn't there? That's strange. I was going to ask Kiko, actually. I had a call with him just recently, and I was going to say, can you give me any hints at who's playing bass? But
that's a loaded question.
Okay.
Sorry.
So, Instagram influencer meets airport pianist and gathers $10,000 worth of tips in an hour. I thought we'd make mention, again, Chris shared this with us.
That's fucking crazy.
It's nice when humans do nice things for other people.
This isn't even like one of our normal sources either. This is USA Today.
Yeah.
So it's just like a real normal news outlet putting something out.
Yeah, let's...
You want to give this a read, or you want to watch a video?
Let's watch the video, why not? Or not. It's nice when Instagram influencers do good things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Though saying that, it's kind of like that Rob Chapman thing where it feels I'm going to take full advantage of this for my own career benefits. But yeah, Tony, 66-year-old, kidney disease, dialysis every night for 9 hours. Great. Everything I get cash after this 40 minutes ago. It's a nice idea. It is a nice idea.
Aye.
Come on, Tony. Hey.
But then there's also this vibe of
you got a lot of money coming your way, bro.
I want to do something really nice for you, so I'm going to have my fans do that for you.
So I've been like
70,001. I'm following.
Yeah, you're following me now. So, but here's the deal. I've been like Instagramming you, playing that piano, and I said, we need to give this man a tip. So I put my Venmo out there, and in 35 minutes, I need to let you know that I'm about to give you $10,000.
You tell.
They just deposited $10,000.
They
170,000 strangers that loved your piano playing, and I asked them to give you money.
I wish he didn't say 170,000 followers, because when you've got 170,000 followers and you can only get $10,000, it feels like actually, you know what I mean?
I don't know as much, man.
I'm going to leave your Cash App on my Instagram account for the next 24 hours. And people just keep giving you. Now there's a limit, just so you know. A week, I think you can only take out $2,500. So,
look at that guy's face.
Okay.
I kind of want to do an edit on this and do the Windows shutdown sound.
Ding, 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 ding.
You get the idea. So I am, it's nice when people do things for other people, even if they are, there's their own sense of personal gain in there. But
yeah.
If you have a big platform, share it with people that deserve it, that need it, people that are down on their luck, because there's lots of talented and hardworking musicians out there you could probably give a leg up, and you probably wouldn't be where you are in your... I'm not talking to you, of course. You probably wouldn't be where you are in your career if it wasn't for other people giving you a leg up. So,
I mean, that you could be talking to me.
Sure.
I just make a lot of noise and somehow people are nice to me.
Yeah, I think that applies to most people, actually. But
I do all right.
So, okay, let's do Single Cuts Notes IPA craft beer aims to quench your thirst and teach you guitar at the same time. I don't recommend combining drinking alcohol and learning guitar.
Yeah, the new lineup features chord charts, an interactive Snapchat filter, and a pick-equipped ring pull in an effort to be the most comprehensive and delicious learning tool around.
Now, I have to say, the pick-equipped ring pull is a great idea.
Depending on how fucking sharp it is,
Sure,
man. I get the impression that that's asking for trouble. But
They have a press video, so let's check out the press video.
okay, fair enough. I like this episode.
Yeah, we don't have to do much or say much.
The first beer crafted to teach you guitar. Showing a chord is not teaching me guitar, but okay.
Okay, right. I'll have a can of D, please.
Cans come equipped with an injected moulded pick. Here, alright, fair enough.
That's quite cool.
That's quite nifty, man.
Oh, that's cool.
Made to pop open the beer and pop off for you to play with. Right, okay, aye. Smart arses.
Yep, I'm impressed with that.
What I wasn't impressed with is how far down the pick that person was holding it.
Sure.
Fuck. That's all of Oasis songs. Do you want to learn Oasis? Buy this beer. You get 4 cans, all the chords.
A tactile finish so you get a feel for the strings. Wow.
That's pretty fucking ridiculous, if
It's
you're honest.
mega gimmicky, but I like it. I definitely like this. This is fun.
Snapchat. Okay.
The beer has been an absolute smash, and we've sent Notes IPA to some of the greatest guitarists in the States and Canada. Even with these 4 chords, if you knew no other chords.
Okay, how do you feel about that?
You know what? It's quite a good campaign because it's not just marketing on a lot of shite. It's actually, it looks decent.
Yeah, trying to.
Right, here's the question. Single
Sure.
cut. Are you sending us some so that we can get half pissed and talk shite about it?
This is I've totally fucked that there by playing this.
Just mute it.
Yeah, good point actually.
So none of you will be able to hear
Because we'll be talking
this
over the top of it.
retroactively.
We're talking over the top of it. So someone else is going to claim the entire video. Sorry guys, ads are going to run on this video now. We won't be running ads on this video, but someone will be running ads on this video.
Fucking shit.
Single cut notes IPA. So how much do you think this is?
I would say probably like $20 for 4 cans.
You would think that it would be easy to find, and yet
Nope.
it is not. And you'd think that they would have a link to where you would be able to buy it in their.
Nope.
That's a shame.
Right, I'm going to quickly Google.
Yeah, I mean, I've certainly had a look, a small Google, and not been able to find anything. Yeah, credit where credit is due. I think those injection molded. I mean, if we'd scrolled a little further down in the story, we could have seen those injection molded pics, which are kind of cool. And
Really watch a video,
okay,
though.
yeah. So a 4-pack costs $18.
Oh, not a bad guess then.
Yeah.
I would have thought
found
$5.
the brand's tap rooms in Clifton Park, New York, and Astoria, Queens. 4-pack costs $18. And they single cut beersmiths. They do have a website. I am definitely over 21, unfortunately. And then, they probably can't ship it to the UK, I would imagine.
I tell you what does, man. The beer that will teach you guitar. It's a bit of a jump.
Mail order beer.
The
Yeah.
beer that will show you chords on the front of the can is probably more accurate, but that's just me splitting hairs.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely splitting hairs.
They definitely surpassed my expectations, so I'll give them that one.
Yeah, to be fair, it's like I say, it's gimmicky. I don't expect it to do anything, but I think I'd be happy to have 4 of those, not to drink, but just to keep around, just because they're cool, like sort of guitar memorabilia, paraphernalia. I don't know what you want to call it. They're kind of cool. Anyway, so let's move on. Fender and Phineas team up for an Acoustasonic Jazzmaster voicemail service.
That's a roller coaster of a fucking sentence.
You just didn't know where it was going to go, did you?
Even since you've said every word, I'm just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Right, I know who Phineas is. I know who Fender are.
Yeah.
I know what an Acoustasonic Jazzmaster is. What the fuck has that got to do with voicemail?
Yeah, we could actually have a lot of fun with this by just sort of creating our own versions of this. So for anyone in the chat right now, I would like you to list a random guitar brand, a random artist that you don't associate with guitar, a random guitar make that they do, like the Jazzmaster, and then a random service that they could provide. So Schecter and Britney Spears team up to promote the latest guitar with a brew your own beer service.
Nice. Vagina Guitars
A man of
and
culture.
Joe Biden team up to bring the Morse code back. So everybody that buys a vagina guitar, it comes with like a
Morse code on it.
kill switch button
Right, okay.
and a code sheet for you to learn Morse code so you can introduce it to your riffs.
Fantastic.
Mhm.
So read the story for us.
I can do. Fender has set up a hotline for fans who want to ask Billie Eilish producer and guitarist Phineas questions about the American Acoustasonic Jazzmaster. The new voicemail service will allow fans and potential buyers to get tips, tricks, and advice direct from the award-winning songwriter and producer. Those in the US just need to dial 8334 Jazzmaster.
That's with one Z.
And there's a UK line. Lines are now open and will close on August the 4th, 2021. Callers will also have the option of speaking directly to a Fender advisor to ask about the instruments and their availability. The American Acoustasonic Jazzmaster can truly change your whole sound if you know how to use it, says Phineas. I've taken it with me on tour, in the studio, and on shows like SNL. So here's your chance. Hit me with a question and we'll talk about what this guitar can do for you and the sounds it can unlock. Just fucking say money, give me money. Come on.
Yeah, a little bit shady. There's no, I mean, I guess if it's 0800 numbers are free to call, right?
Phone it on air, go.
What?
Phone it on air, go. Phone it. Don't actually.
Why not?
Cannot be arsed talking to anybody, plus it'll be shut. It's open 12 till 2, Monday, Friday.
Well, let's see what happens when I call it.
Alright.
Let's see what voicemail I get. Let's leave a voicemail on the voicemail. Why would your voicemail service be closed?
I think it's probably the live calls that are.
What?
For contest registration, please call back and leave a voicemail Monday through Friday from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. The contest will only be open from Wednesday, July 21st through Wednesday, August 4th, only during the times previously stated. Thank you.
Why the fuck can you not leave a voice? You know the answer to it. You can't leave a voicemail outside of those times because they want Fender reps to then be able to pick up the phone and answer your questions.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. You know, we did that. You know what we did there? We did a journalism.
That was some good journalism. We tried, didn't we?
Did our best.
Almost investigative. Almost.
Yeah.
So what a lot of shite.
Sure.
Really.
Yeah, I don't get the.
I've got no
connection for
belief whatsoever that this is something that Phineas really believes in, and it's just money in his pocket. Maybe I'm just being a horrible cynic.
Well, we know how heavily advertised the Acoustasonic Jazzmaster was. We know the brand deals that they had with all YouTubers. It was everywhere, and we know Fender put a lot of money into marketing it. So yeah, this is a marketing opportunity. Obviously.
Hondo P.
What I guess I would like is if we know anybody local, I say local, nearby that has one of the Acoustasonics, not necessarily the Jazzmaster or the. Did they do a Telesonic?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and a Strat one. I thought I did a Strat one.
There was a Strat acoustic, it was called.
Yeah.
I know someone who's got an older one.
Well, because I've got the guitar coming tomorrow, the TLAC.
Mm-hmm.
That's essentially Fender's first one of this.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be kind of cool to see how the new one compares to the old one.
Oh, the newer ones, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The person I know who's got one, it's just like a Strat acoustic. It would have been 2005 maybe, 2006-ish.
Yeah.
It came out and he got it. So it's moulded back plastic with the top on it.
Yeah.
Strat shaped. That was quite a cool guitar.
I'll just throw this out there, right? So at rehearsal today, Melissa's guitarist, Kyle Hood, he's a good guitarist. He brought his Strat down with him today.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I'm getting a real hankering for a Strat. I didn't play it or anything, but just watching and just listening to it, I was like, sound good. They sound good.
Mm-hmm.
How do I not have a Strat?
Because you've always been a Telecaster guy.
I always have been a Telecaster.
And you've got Super Strats.
Yeah, but nothing that Super Strat isn't supposed to sound like a Strat. You know what I mean?
Ah, I get you.
The mayonnaise will be here at some point soon, and it's yeah, all right. I've got a trem on it and shit. And with the first guitar not the first guitar I own, but the only guitar I own with a trem on it.
Yes. The only guitar that you have consciously bought with a trem on it in quite some time.
Yeah. So yeah, kind of want a Strat. Strats. Yeah. Does anyone want to buy a mayonnaise? I've got I've got a blue one I can sell. I'd probably sell my Hydra, my headless.
That seemed to have come and gone quite quickly in terms of being used.
The Hydra.
Is that in the house?
No, it's over there.
Oh, is it? Okay,
Yeah, it's behind your case.
All right, fair enough.
So
because I saw you playing it quite a bit, and then obviously you got the Goliath, and it seemed to stay in its case.
Yeah, I just tend to. I get maximum string life out of any set of strings I put on a guitar. So I put.
Could you play it twice and leave it for a year?
And then I play that guitar into the ground.
And
then when the strings are really fucked on it, I pick up another guitar.
Sounds about right.
So there'll come a point in the next month where you'll stop seeing the telly, I'm sure.
That is the guitarist's curse, to be fair, man. Having to change strings, and then of course, if you have a whole myriad of guitars, like somebody I know does, then it would literally be a full day of string changes.
Yeah, hellish.
No thanks.
Don't want to do that. Right, let's move on to the last story of the day. Because I told you this was going to be a short episode. Like I say, Mike is tired. I am tired. And before I go to the gym, I've started playing a new game actually, so I'm going to go in and play some more. I'm playing Planet Coaster.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, the theme park designing.
Is it good? I did like those games when I played them when I was younger, but mainly because I would like to either trap people in like an infinite loop of hell or make the roller coasters that killed everybody.
Well, yeah. So there is a trophy for having a roller coaster crash that kills 300 people or something like that.
Nice.
I'm sure. It's a little bit too in depth. If you really want to be a mega nerd, it's about when you build roller coasters, you have to understand how the G-forces work and how
physics, etc.
You really understand.
They did have that
physics.
in the original
Sure.
Roller Coaster Tycoon, but you could pretty much switch it off.
Yeah. So custom building coasters, like for one of the tutorial levels, you had to do it and get it and build it within certain parameters, and it must have taken me 3 or 4 hours of trial and error to get it right. And by the end of that, I was like, it just isn't fun. I don't want to do this. So I'm playing the game on, but I'm just building the roller coasters that are, pre-built. And that seems to be fine. But you know what I'm like. I hate the thought of not being able to do something. So that means I'm going to learn to do it. So I'll go in the house and play some more of that.
Yeah, so it's not really playing a game at that point, is it, Levi?
No, it's not.
It's enduring a menial task.
Yeah.
A menial
That's
task.
what video games are for me. I just got my 100th platinum.
You don't endure a menial task, though. You put games down the minute you don't enjoy them most of the time. So there must be something about this that you do.
That is totally not true.
Really?
Yeah. If I really hate something, I'll turn it off. But almost every game on that list of 100 platinums,
there's been a point where
you're just like, I've had enough of this.
But you deserve that because you are going for all these trophies constantly.
Yeah.
Try to platinum every game you get a hold of. Lunatic.
Yeah, definitely not the case. I think I own like 500 games on PlayStation now. Digitally, I own 500 games, and to only have 100 platinums, and that goes all the way back through PS3 as well. So, anyway, we went mega off topic there. So, to be fair, need to stretch the show out a bit. So, right, Epiphone. That's not how you say Epiphone. Epiphone releases much anticipated Slash collection. Yawn. Signature Les Pauls and J45 acoustics available now.
I'm so glad they brought these out, man. People have been yearning for these for years. Slash is just how he's been bypassed for signature guitars and to be the forefront for so long. I don't know, man. He's like the Leonardo DiCaprio of the music world. Constantly people shouting out, "Come on, game it, come on. Why is he not getting that?" And then he doesn't get it and he's disappointed. And eventually it does. Never's good. And by that I mean, stop releasing Slash signatures. They are just basic, boring Les Pauls every time.
Yeah,
slightly different finish, minted. Let's put his name on it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna, fuck it. Let's say something controversial. I don't think it's controversial. I think it's fine. But for a man,
see, when you say these things, Levi, just so we can slow right down, right. I get really worried because I've heard you say actually controversial things just for the sake of it.
Yeah,
and there's times when you're like, you know what, I'm just going to put this out, and I'm like, oh fuck, here we go. He's going thermonuclear.
Yeah, I'm going to go thermonuclear now. Slash has only recorded one album that's worth listening to.
Okay.
Appetite for Destruction. Everything else has got some great moments on it. But, okay, I might argue the second Slash Snakebit album
Right.
is pretty solid. I know like everyone listening to this now will be mortified by this because Slash has got loads of stuff that you like, but outside of Appetite for Destruction, there is nothing that Slash has put out that I would put on from start to finish. Nothing. He doesn't do anything for me.
You're not a big Velvet Revolver fan?
Oh, fuck no.
No. That's fair enough. I think Scott Whelan's got very much a Marmite voice.
Yeah.
I think 40 Pieces is a cracking tune.
Yeah, I mean,
Slither was cool, but
I did get that
you.
record when it came out.
I always wanted one of Dave's reveals. The Fernandez guitar with
yeah.
that Fernandez Reveal.
Yeah.
So Dave Kushner?
That's
Kushner.
Yeah. The reason I raise this is because, to me, even if you don't agree with how black and white I am about that, I think we all agree the best thing Slash has done is Appetite for Destruction.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not playing Gibson on that, so.
Wap, 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 wap. I mean, we all know him very famously for playing a Les Paul. Let's just be honest. And the occasion where he did play the
BC
Rich Mockingbird.
Sure.
That's right. You Could Be Mine video?
Yeah.
Aye. But see, outside of that, it's not as if he's known for playing anything wild.
Yeah.
I'll read this and then we'll just chat more shit about it, because really, it's like slagging Slash is like beating a dead horse when it comes to this stuff, man, because it is just a cool, buy my dick. Today's a special day for any guitar playing Guns N' Roses fans. No, it isn't. As the long-awaited, no, it isn't, Epiphone Slash collection is released. The collection was first teased in January by Slash himself and comprises a handful of Les Pauls boasting the same finishes as their Gibson counterparts and a pair of J45 acoustic guitars.
Do they have the same headstock?
Obviously not.
Then no one cares.
Even beyond that, man.
On that note, I'm selling my Epiphone Les Paul if anyone wants a cheap Epiphone Les Paul.
Are they be gold top?
Yeah.
That's a shame. How come? Just not getting played?
Just need space. Just need to clear space. I've bought a bunch of guitars recently.
That's you. On the back. Coming in at the high end of Epiphone's lineup, the Slash collection models have some very grown-up specs. The J45s have an all-solid build with Sitka spruce on top and mahogany on the back and sides, while the Les Pauls have a solid mahogany body with triple A flame maple cap that'll add some luxury under those transparent gloss finishes, and mahogany necks carved into a comfortable C profile. On paper, sounds like nice Les Pauls, to be honest.
Sure.
Available in Anaconda Burst, Appetite Burst, Vermilion Burst, November Burst, and in a Victoria Gold Top finish, named after the person who stole his original Gold Top. These Epiphone Les Pauls look pretty sweet. All come equipped with a pair of Epiphone custom Pro Bucker pickups, a 3-way toggle plus the usual 2-volume, 2-tone... a 3-way toggle plus the usual 2-volume, 2-tone control setup.
This is why we should use the Oxford comma.
Yes, I'm really good at reading. As we have seen with some of the other top-line Les Pauls, Epiphone has used quality components throughout, with CTS potentiometers with orange drop capacitors ensuring the tone controls taper nicely, and Epiphone strap locks so your beloved new guitar does not hit the floor. As for the fundamentals, we'll measure up comparably with a Gibson / Les Paul standard with a 24.75-inch scale, disgusting, 12-inch fingerboard radius, 22 frets, a thick leather strap, advisable for long sessions. And that's just enough of that, innit, really?
You can.
I'll keep reading. Aye, that's fine.
Yeah, you continue. Sorry, 2 seconds.
That's all right, mate. Take your time. Poor Levi's trying to multitask and just making things a nightmare for himself.
I'm trying to make this more entertaining for the people watching. So there you go.
So we can laugh at it.
You see that?
Yes. Right, cool. In keeping with its 50s model, Epiphone has used a long neck tenon as a nod to vintage instruments. Aesthetically, the only major difference is the headstock, that the Indian laurel is used for the fingerboard instead of rosewood, but it looks the part with trapezoid inlays. Binding, and best of all, the custom match hardware and controls. Custom matched hardware and controls? What are you talking about? Slash's signature Scully illustration can be found on the rear of the headstock, and his signature is on the truss rod cover. Right. Okay, they're nice Epiphones.
You going to take a guess at the price?
I don't believe for a second that should constitute what they were calling a triple A flamed maple cap. That is a boring shit finish. And I'm not being rude, but my Chibson has got a better finish than that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a clear cut, but clear coat, sorry, but the colour's much better.
Sure.
I have not guessed what I think it will probably cost. I'm going to think these will be £600.
I think you're probably pushing $799.
It probably could be, man. Aye.
799.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, on those.
So aye, Gibson price and not the Gibson fucking stuff. Jesus Christ, man.
I mean, people are going to assume that I've checked that beforehand, but I can assure you I did not. I just thought, what would a reasonable price be, and then add £200 to £300 on top of it.
Aye. It's mad that they're all about that price, including the J45s.
Yeah.
Like, if it's all top grade wood on the Les Pauls, then okay, right, fair enough. Couple of £100 for materials straight out the bang, right? But for an acoustic, you're not using half as much material.
Yeah.
So then to fire that up at £800, I get mahogany backing sides and solid sticker spruce top. You can get the same quality stuff out of Sigma guitars and stuff for half that.
The physical building of an acoustic guitar is obviously harder to do than an electric guitar.
Yeah.
The workmanship that goes into it. But
Saying that, I'll give Gibson their due, Epiphone their due. An LR Bags system on it's pretty good. That is a good acoustic pickup.
Right.
It's bound to be. LR Bags doing really, really good stuff. So, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
That could be a couple of £100 in itself.
Mm.
The TLDR of that one really is, who cares? And I'm not being rude or stupid or dismissive, but Slash has enough signature fucking guitars out there. Come on to fuck.
Yeah.
Can we do something a bit different, please?
Yeah. Boring, yawn. But then saying that, inevitably we're both in our 30s. So we're getting old, and we whinge about old people, but we also whinge about young people. You know,
Just whinge about everything.
Exactly. Young, up and coming guys. It's really like, give the signature guitars to the people that we thought have deserved a signature guitar for the last 10 years. That's what we're really whinging about.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, I don't think we know who that would be if we were pushed for an answer. So
I think most of the guys that we've thought should have got a signature guitar have started getting them. I wish. Aye, right. Who the fuck's going to buy my signature? It would end up being grotesque.
we constantly keep getting people saying, Ormsby better be launching a Guitar Souls Mike McLaughlin signature.
Aye, right.
And I absolutely think people will buy a Mike McLaughlin signature Ormsby.
Who? Two people that know me?
Well, I think it's the same
You?
idea as like the Richie Allen and the Ando Sands. Like, I think
No.
they're designed in a way that they're not just for the fans of the people that play the guitars. You know, they're cool, aesthetically pleasing guitars.
I'll give you that. Like, I love Andos, and I do love Richie's as well.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's anywhere near the profile of Richie Allen or Ando, for that sake. Nah, I don't think so. Maybe not, he's not that.
You have a different type of audience.
Yeah,
You have a
that's
different-
fair.
Different
Okay.
type of reach.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we consistently have a decent amount of people that listen to this podcast every week. So, you know,
None of them ever want to emulate my sound. Really, let's give them a chance here. Come
No.
on.
no, but I'm sure if we came out with something really cool, or if I keep saying we, like I'm involved, if you came out with something that looked really cool, like people are just going to buy it because it looks really cool.
That's what I've been thinking. I've been thinking about like a cool finish for because I want a custom. I do.
Yeah.
I need to speak to Perry about that. But I've been thinking of some bizarre stuff. So I don't know if it's going to go down well or not. But aye, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I don't. Obviously, I've been talking to somebody about like custom finishing a Guitar Souls style guitar, and lots of questions of like, well, what is it that you'd want if you were to design a guitar? And I'm like, well, that's such a difficult question because I don't know who I am as a guitar player anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I love like Buckeye Burl tops. I like red guitars. I like the sorts of things you see on my Ormsby or some of the Mayonnaise guitars that I have. These are things that I like, but then the things that I actually tend to gravitate towards, pick up and play are like
Butterscotch Tellies.
you've classic looking guitars. So it's really difficult to work out what do I want, something that looks really classic, or because in my mind, if you took something like a Telecaster and then just did all the aesthetic things that I think are really cool on the modern guitars that I like playing, would I still like the Telecaster? And I think the answer is probably no.
You've always said, though, the reason you really like the Telecaster is because it's just meat and potatoes. It's straightforward, basic. You plug in and you play it. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. I mean, you even have a preference to not have a belly cut on them.
Yeah.
You know, like that is something that genuinely doesn't make a difference to the guitar except how comfortable you are playing it.
Yeah.
But that's going to make a world of difference to how it sounds.
Yeah. I was talking about like these ideas of like, as you know, my favourite part of these, in fact, this is going to be opportunities. I tell you what, did you know This show is brought to you by our friends over at Ormsby Guitars. We want to remind you guys that there is still time to get involved in the upcoming Run 16 guitars. Those include these incredible hypes available in 5 new colours. That Dragon Burst is absolutely stunning. You can also get your hands on one of the Metal X's, again available in a range of finishes. My personal pick has to be these headless Vs, absolutely outrageously cool. Imagine one of those in an 8-string, I absolutely love these. And finally, the Ando San signature model, available in 6, 7 and 8-string availability. Go and check them out at Ormsby's website right now. This show is also brought to you by our friends over at Rev Amplification, a one-stop shop for all of your tonal needs. Head on over to their website to check out their range of lunchbox amplifiers, both the D20 and G20, 20-watt amplifiers with built-in 2-notes torpedo technology so you can record direct into your computer. If that doesn't suit, you can also check out one of their highly popular G2, 3 and 4 pedals, giving you that trademark Rev tone in a stomp box. Incredible tones, I use these myself. And finally, you may notice in the back of these videos a Rev Generator 120, an absolute masterclass in modern electric guitar tones. Check it out at their site now. So using that as a nice springboard to talk about some of the Ormsby stuff, right? The thing I love about the Goliath is that cutaway there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Wait, no, grab it.
yeah. I love that.
Oh, the mystery's ruined.
I absolutely love that cutaway there.
Yeah.
Because I rest it on my leg like that, exactly.
Absolutely.
And even when I'm playing a guitar that doesn't have that, so when I'm playing my Telecaster, that's still how I have the guitar sitting on my body. So I'm essentially just balancing it on the curved edge of the guitar. Now, obviously, my arm's holding it in place, so it's not that big a deal. But that, as a design, is something that I'm like, well, I like that, and I would like whatever I play to have that because it would make the guitar better.
Mm-hmm.
But then, again, it comes back to this idea of, well, would I want to do that to a Telecaster? Because as soon as you do that, I'm like, well, it's just not a Telecaster anymore. You've tried to improve it too much. So,
and people often say that Leo Fender got it right first time. How are you improving that? And the Strat?
well, every single thing that he did after that was an attempt to improve upon that. But I wouldn't say he got it right. He got it good enough.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, for it to be the platform for everything else to be modded off of, I would say he got it right.
Yeah.
Never got it perfect, but he got it right.
Yeah. So, yeah. And on the amp front, actually, I need to pick up, I need to get in some of the, in fact, I'll send you to work on this, right? I need to get in the buy and sell groups.
Mm-hmm.
I need to pick up a bass amp.
Okay. What you
A bass
needing?
amp. Nothing expensive, nothing fancy. Well, I've got the hybrid showing up soon, haven't I? So I've got a set up. I've ordered. I've contacted a guy about. I saw a cheap power supply, so I've got a power supply coming. So I'm going to reset up my pedal rig with 2 inputs because
Right.
obviously the
Your
hybrid
stereo.
has
Yep.
stereo output.
Do you want my
Um,
AB pedal?
Uh,
That way you can run one into your guitar rig and one into the bass rig, and you can. if
no,
you
I
wanted
mean it
just
will
the
do that
bass-
anyway because the guitar's literally got 2 outputs.
Yeah, my point is that you can switch one off independently as you want to. So if you wanted it where like the bass was running itself and not the guitar, and then the guitar was running not the bass, but then you could have both come in.
It would be that anyway because the pickup is set so the low 3 strings are picked up and they go out the bass output.
Ah,
And
okay.
then the top
right.
4 strings go out the treble output.
Right, okay, fair enough.
So
It's really
yeah,
clever.
super cool. Yeah, super cool. I've seen a lot of companies do, not a lot of companies. I've seen people try to do similar things by putting like a bass pickup on the low strings, offset, so it literally just covers those strings, and then the one for the treble pickups.
Still got to pick up some of the string.
Yeah. But Kent
Vibrations.
Armstrong, they have and they are switchable, so you can flick it into mono mode, and it all just come out the treble thing, which is.
Is that not too far
super.
off what Rickenbacker used to do with the stereo sound thing? The Rick sound.
I don't know what that is.
The Rickenbackers were super famous with certain musicians because they've got a stereo output,
Right.
not just a mono one, and that's where the Rickenbacker sound comes from.
I'm getting more and more time for Rickenbacker, to be honest.
You know what, man? I think Marmite instruments, but definitely ahead of their time in terms of.
People are getting excited about Ibanez and those slanted frets that they've got on the new guitar. Like Rickenbacker did that in 1974.
I remember you showed me that actually. Aye.
When someone showed me that, I was like, wow, that's really ahead of the curve. Like clearly, really ahead of the curve. And I've enjoyed teasing people anytime they post Ibanez pictures of the new Quest, which I do think are pretty cool. But they post pictures with these slanted frets, and they go, "See, like Ibanez pushing boundaries and doing new and exciting things." And I'm like, "Yep, new and exciting." I mean, almost 40 years late to the party, but
I mean, we can't really slag them for taking
I'm not
something that-
slagging them.
No, I get you, but I think it's very easy for things to get missed
Yes.
by guitarists, and we're very much quick to jump on the high horse of
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, well, absolutely. That's
That's me
smiling
or the
'cause,
back,
like,
man.
that was the game. It's like full on, like, well, actually.
That's me or the back. Quick time for a wee daft endorsement as well, man. Like, this is still in tune. I've played 3 gigs with this in varying different amounts of moisture and heat, and I think I had to tune it like once. People jumping all over the
I
stage.
mean, we can see, actually, the people can't see. I can see just how much this is being played, because these springs are
corroded.
Yeah, I want to say rusty, but corroded feels like the better. Yeah,
it's went from being matte to shiny.
Yeah,
where my arm sits and the amount of sweat that's been on it.
Yeah,
it's actually, I wouldn't want you to touch it, but it's coated with sweat. Like,
that's not even because it's sweaty. Mike's just really picky like that. He hates people touching his guitars.
Don't touch my drum set. Aye, just a tremendous wee instrument, man.
Ah, beautiful.
Always just works.
I was surprised you didn't take a 7-string though.
So was I.
I know you love the 7.
I was really enjoying it. Yeah. It was more so just a convenience thing. The 7's a bit bigger than this, obviously, including the headstock, and we were quite tight on space.
Yeah.
If we had the van from Glasgow, which was potentially going to be the choice to start with, because I was going to do a lot of driving, then we would have been fine for space, and I probably would have took the 7. But conscious effort of this in a gig bag, because it is solid. This in a gig bag stuffed in the back with all the other back line. In fact, this was actually in the roof box on the way home. So changes in weather, humidity, temperatures, wind, extreme pressure, and yet comes out the fucking case completely in tune.
Ah, fantastic.
So
yeah, very nice.
I'm going to suck that corporate dick, because you know what? This is a solid bit of fucking kit. That's just the gist of it.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to end the show right now, because this way I'm hoping in the edit I can get the show to be exactly an hour long. I doubt it will be. But yeah, so thank you very much, guys. Please do like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check us out on Buy Me a Coffee. Check us out on Teespring. Links all are in the description. That good stuff. We've got, I think, 19 members on Buy Me a Coffee now. Which is fantastic.
That's fucking tremendous. Thanks
19
very much.
supporters. I forget which. But yeah, that's really cool. So thank you so much, because, you know, as we do keep saying, it does make a big difference. I'm not too concerned about being able to afford to pay Bailey now. So
that's a good start, isn't it? Aye, that's the dream.
Yeah.
That is absolutely the dream. And thanks very much to anyone that's just tuned in to listen to us in general, man. It's always great fun, especially Monday Night Guitar Geek Club. I'm going to miss it again this fucking week because I'm at work.
I'll be there.
You will. You're always there. Luckily enough, you can kind of count that as work, can't you? No? You can make excuses for it in your
It depends what I'm doing. So I will do it with work. Like when it's on, I'm transcribing some Troy Grady stuff at the moment. So I'll probably have that on this screen, transcribing whilst listening and engaging with people.
That's crazy you're transcribing Troy's stuff.
Yeah.
You don't seem happy about it.
I need a vacation. I'm tired, man.
You say this and you still say yes to so much work.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, the reason I said yes to Troy is he messaged me and he was like, look, this is possibly an emergency, because I've got a guy from the forums that I've been using for tabs, but he's just started ghosting us. He's just like not responding to any emails. He said he'll do it, but then, you know, I've not heard from him. Could you fit it in? And I'm like, sure, no problem. He was like, okay, I'll let you know by the end of the night. And then I didn't hear from him. The next day I emailed him. I was like, anything? And he was like, well, okay, the guy's messaged back, so it's going to be fine. Don't worry about it. Sorry for wasting your time. I was like, no problem. No, I'm always here if you need me. And then like 3 days later, he was like, yeah, I'm really sorry. He's ghosting us again. So could you do it? And like the reason I work as many hours as I do and I do so many projects, because I hate the thought of people being let down. Hate the thought of people wanting to release a project and something being standing in the way.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I will consider it work because I'm doing that. But sometimes when I don't have any work that I want to be doing, the podcast Monday Night Guitar Geek Club feels a lot more like task than, because I will have done a full day of work and I'm like, right, now I'm going to sit and have dinner with Melissa or whatever, and I'm like, oh babe, but I'm going to put the guitar solos on and I've got a comment along with that, and it just ends up me like sat at the iPad just engaging, because I just get hooked into it because it's so much fun. So
it's good, man. I think it's very easy for you to be like, oh, I'm just going to be on for 10 minutes and I need to go and do this and I need to go and do that, and before you know it, you're at the end of the episode. I found myself in the advert real like, I've been here the full night, man. I didn't even realise. Yeah.
I don't want to consider it work. I think is what I'm trying to describe there. Like, I'll do it with work, and when work isn't happening and I do it, I'm doing it because it's a leisure activity. It's kind of fun, and I'd hate to consider it work because
it's not just kind of fun, man. It's great.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you very much for supporting, guys. Mike, until next time.
Goodbye, fuckers.